Excellent. Welcome, everybody. Let me move my people around here so I can see. Awesome. Awesome. Welcome to the Friday night opportunity meeting. Thank you all for your time, for being here. And I'm going to share with you some things that have completely changed my life in the past 5 years. My name is Joshua Dunsky, and I am a chiropractor. I practice just outside of Boston, Massachusetts. And I want to show you an opportunity that I was inadvertently exposed to 5 years ago. And I will just tell you this in summary, that I can't imagine practicing without this nutrition and this science in my clinic. I brought it on board in my clinic, which is now mandatory in my neuropathy and spinal degenerative program. But since then have realized that it is much bigger than what goes on in my four walls. And now I'm able to change lives across the country, and now in 14 other countries as of right now, with our new expansion into the UK. So I want to start out by showing you a little bit about the problem, an epidemic right now with our health across the globe. It's getting worse and worse, and there's a couple reasons for it. There's a syndrome called TITOS. Some of you have heard of it. Some of you may not have heard about it. TITOS stands for toxicity, deficiency, obesity, and stress. And this is what I believe to be the core reasons why we are getting sicker and sicker in this world of amazing doctors, of amazing research, and amazing life-saving medicine. Why is it that we're getting sicker? Why are the cancer rates going up? Why is diabetes going up? Obesity, 23 million children. So these four things are all interconnected. They're like the stool, the legs on a stool. They all by themselves are a problem, but together it's like the perfect storm. We talk about our air being so polluted. Since World War II, we've had over 100,000 new industrial chemicals brought into the air that we breathe. To produce food these days, companies use up to 10,000 chemicals to produce the food that we eat, believe it or not. It comes in a box and it's packaged and there's preservatives in it. 10,000 chemicals. Only 500 of them have ever been tested on humans out of the 100,000 that are in the air and the water and everything that we consume. They tested babies a few years ago. They took umbilical tissue of brand new baby girls and baby boys, and they had over 287 deadly toxins living in them at birth. Those toxins are in them at birth. So we wonder why, 1 out of every 2 children now is born with a chronic illness. We're so contaminated. Lead, it's still, I thought we got rid of lead. Lead shows up in lipstick and makeup. It shows up in nail polish. We know the neurotoxic effects it has on the body. Our food, listen, everybody knows this. It's sprayed beyond belief. The herbicides and pesticides that are in the air, it's in the soil, it gets into the plants, and you and I consume it. Genetically modified foods, there's just, they're changing the genetic coding inside food. Food isn't just for energy. Food has genetic coding that tells our cells how it'll work and function. And in 2012, the FDA came out under the Freedom of Information Act, a 44,000-page document that said they were lying to us all these years. They finally admitted, their own scientists said no one should be consuming genetically modified food. Yet it's almost 80% of what we eat now, right? And so we are severely lacking. We're toxic, and we're severely lacking the nutrients from our food. Organic food has no more nutrition than inorganic food. It has less pesticides and herbicides, but our soils are bankrupt. And the food that we grow, the plants and vegetables, are dependent on the very soil that it grows in. So if the soil is deficient, right, those herbicides and pesticides, they destroy a good fungus that are in the rock and in the soil that make our minerals. It's not there anymore, right? We need 54 bowls of spinach today for 1 week's supply of iron. My kids aren't eating 6 to 8 oranges a day. That's what 1 orange used to give us back in 1936. 6 to 8 oranges, 8 to 12 apples today gives us what apples used to give us back in the 70s. We're losing our nutritional content in the soil very, very quickly. Thus, we don't have the enzymes. We don't have the minerals to make our enzymes work properly. Our bodies need over 70 trace minerals, not the minerals like magnesium and calcium and iron, trace minerals to survive every single day. Those are the elements of the periodic table that our cells need to thrive on. We don't get it. The best supplements we see and the best food that we see has about 15 to 20 of those trace minerals. So where are we getting it from? Our water's contaminated. They do water samples. There's Wellbutrin, there's Lipitor, there's birth control, there's Prozac, there's let alone over 500 contaminants in our water that we drink every day. So you take that, you compound it on all the stress. Who has stress out there, right? Who has kids? Who goes to work? Who has to pay bills, right? Who's struggling to stay alive? Stress is a killer. Stanford Medical School said it's the number one cause of death today is stress. Number one cause. And the number one cause of stress, believe it or not, is economic stress. Okay, so that's a big thing. Money's a big stressor. And then we have obesity. It's incredible. I mean, we have 23 million children just in the United States. And now this is affecting Australia and London and all over the world, but not just London, the UK, all over the world. Our obesity rates are going through the roof. We used to be the largest country in the world. Now Mexico is number one. So we're getting bigger and bigger and sicker and sicker. So this is a major problem. So when I talk to you about an opportunity like this, I want to introduce you to Isagenix. And again, this is by circumstance. This was a happening interface that happened with Lisa and I, my wife, in my clinic from looking at science that has amazing science behind it. Looking at products and nutrition for my patients has amazing science behind it. This thing just blew up outside of our four walls in a good way. And so I want to talk to you today about this company that I've grown to know and love every time we look at it and look at their policies and their no compromise and their give back to society. There's a reason why they're the number one largest, or soon to be the largest, but the number one health and wellness company backed up by real science that's out there. We have solutions to transform lives, to affect those with Tito's, and that's all of us. It's a big thing. And so we want to impact world health and become one of the largest health and wellness companies in the world. We have a corporate vision of 75 billion worldwide. And right now is our first $1 billion a year. So that's all well and good, but where's the meat behind this? There is no company if products don't work, if products don't have science, if they're not consumable, emotional, and result-oriented. Products have to work. And there's so many companies out there. There's companies with relatively good names that still don't have science behind them. We have 6 now publications. Just to have one in a peer-reviewed medical journal is very, very difficult. It almost never happens. There's a lot of money that goes into it, a lot of research. It's got to be scrutinized. We have 6 publications now, which is very impressive in medical journals. That's why, part of my role in this I work with a lot of practitioners all over the globe and all over the country, for that matter, thousands of them that implement this with their patients. It's incredible. So you can see all the studies on here. For the purpose of tonight, I want to show you an opportunity that I never dreamed of having before, right? But I want to pick apart, I just want to show you 2 things when it comes to the science, because I think it speaks volumes. So one of the studies that was done at UIC, they took people on the Isagenix nutritional cleansing system. It is not a colon cleanse. It's not a liver cleanse. You're not running to the bathroom. It's a molecular, cellular, deep cleanse for the entire body. So they put people on the Isagenix 30-day system, and they compared those people to people on the Heart Healthy diet. Okay, what does that mean? People that are relatively eating healthy or eating relatively healthy, lean meats and salads and greens and the Heart Healthy program. They didn't compare this to people eating McDonald's. They wanted to show that people are going to get healthier on the Isagenix program. This was published in a peer-reviewed medical journal. And what happened was amazing. The Isagenix group had 56% more weight loss than people eating healthy, 47% more fat loss than people eating healthy. But here's the kicker. Those of you that don't know what visceral fat is the dangerous, deadly fat that causes what we know as metabolic disease. Diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, fatty liver disease, and many, many more, congestive heart failure. That's the fat that grabs those deadly toxins. It has to put it somewhere, because we literally would become so toxic we would die if that fat didn't grab those toxins, and it makes more fat. It solidifies it like cement, and it attaches it right next to our organs, on top of our organs. So the more visceral fat you have, the less that those organs have to function. Okay, that's not good, but that's how our body keeps us alive. In fact, the American Society of Endocrinologists name that fat specifically, and they call it obesogens. Obesogens, pretty much, they keep us alive temporarily, but kill us in the long run. Okay? The Isogenics group had twice the reduction of visceral fat compared to people eating healthy. There's not much else we can say about that. I mean, there's not much else you have to tell somebody. That's incredible. That's incredible. And that's why we have so many practitioners, because they want to see the studies out there. Here's the published MRI that went along with that. You know, we're talking about a published MRI that shows before and after. You know, there's really nothing else to talk about. But yet we have more studies. And we have studies that prove that it increases our vascular health, our cardiovascular health. Studies that show that we can increase lean muscle mass a lot more efficiently, that we decrease fat. We have long-term studies, which I get excited about that. I'm not gonna go into that tonight, but we do separate webinars for that. So how do we leverage this? Okay, this is an opportunity for people to get healthy, or an opportunity for people to get healthy and make some money while they're doing it. It's all about relationship marketing. So Kate goes and eats at a restaurant. She has a great meal. And she says to Cindy, oh my God, Cindy, you got to go try this bone and filet. I know you love bone and fillets. You got to go try this. So Cindy goes to the restaurant, has a great meal. Kate didn't get any money from that restaurant. The same thing. I see a movie. It's an amazing movie. It either made me laugh, made me cry. It struck an emotion. What's the first thing when you see an amazing movie or a really, really funny movie? You call somebody and you're like, buddy, you got to go check out this movie. Those are referrals. We make 20, 30 referrals every day. But that movie company never gave me a referral fee. Well, let me tell you something. When you get on a program and it changes you on the inside and you feel that change, you can't stop talking about it. We are not looking for salespeople. We don't want salespeople. We want people that authentically have a product experience. You can't stop talking about it. So we tell people, listen, try the program. If it's for you, great. If it's not, that's great too. And that's why people that discuss this, they talk about this from an authentic, transparent place. It's all word of mouth advertising. Coca-Cola spends hundreds of billions of dollars a year on advertising. Isogenics spends zero. And they take that money and they pay it back to you and I only if you have a product experience and you get results. That's the biggest problem in the world today of nutraceuticals and nutrition. You have all these marketing companies that put up beautiful, sexy men, sexy women. They show their abs. They show their before and afters, right? And they spend tons of money on advertising. You don't know these people, right? And it's all this. It's lip service. Whereas we have a company with science that's published, and you're having someone that you know refer you to a program that may change you. It all comes down to core principles, though. These core principles are the reason why first of all, we're the #1 company in Australia and New Zealand right now. And I'm going to show you some impressive numbers, but these core principles are why we are gaining so much traction around the globe right now. Word of mouth advertising is the most cost-effective means of bringing a product to market, period. And I just spoke about that. The principles are such that the products, they must be emotional, consumable, and have results attached to them, or there's no platform. There's plenty of companies out there that have widgets and products, and their people are selling, recruiting. There's no meat behind it, okay? They fizzle out very quickly, right? There's a 90% failure rate in direct sales and network marketing because there's no meat behind what they say. And lastly, residual income change lives. And that's what I want to show you right now. We have a clinic, like I told you about. We have a great practice. I love it. This provides another option. This provides another stream of income to my clinic. So you may love what you do. That's great. But we always have what's called the golden handcuffs. You can't stop working. Now, most people don't like what they do. In fact, there's a statistic, I think it's 78% of working people want to quit their jobs every single day. But there are some people that like their job. They're just married to it. And that was my situation. I was working 6 days a week. I never saw my kids. Brutal. Now I'm in my clinic Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And the rest of the time I get to spend with my family, or I get to talk to people like you and share what we know. It's just sharing. It's not convincing. You're not trying to push somebody, but you're just saying, listen, every time I see you, you're complaining that you don't like your job. Every time I see you, you're telling me that you can't pay your bills. I'm doing something right now that you may or may not be interested. Are you open to taking a look? That's it. Or Linda, every time I talk to you, you're doing another weight loss program. Weight loss is, the diet industry is a 98% failure rate, according to the National Institute of Health. I'm doing something, or I've done something right now. You may or may not be interested. Are you open to learning why this program is a little different? That's it. If they say no, totally fine. I still love you. You still be friends. But there are plenty of people looking for options. They're looking for something else. They're sick and tired of being sick and tired. And we all know those people that have no energy. They're not sleeping, and it gets worse and worse and worse. And we know for a fact that sarcopenia is a condition. It's muscle wasting. We lose, starting at age 25, 40% of our muscle. Between 25 and 70 years old, we lose 40% of our muscle. And we gain 100% fat. So what if you had something that would fight against that muscle wasting? That'd be pretty cool. We actually do, and we can prove it. And the studies allow us to say that. Let me tell you a little bit about this platform now. Our vehicle to get the job done, either the health experience, the physical experience, or the wealth experience, is Isagenix. They're a global health and wellness company. They literally are leaders in nutritional cleansing. The company was started in 2002. They have $4 billion in cumulative sales, and this year is our first $1 billion year. In the 15 years, we have created, ready for this? 210 millionaires. Now, I did this slide a couple weeks ago. It seems like every week we're producing a new millionaire. Millionaire, not corporate people. I'm talking about people like you and I that have had an experience, that understand this is changing their health and their financial footprint, are just spreading the word, spreading the news. That's all they're doing. 210 millionaires doing that. So that makes us the 10th company in the world, okay, by having our first $1 billion a year that's ever hit $1 billion in 1 year without a lick of advertising. Incredible. How does that happen? I want to share with you some friends up here on a recent newsletter. And when I tell you they're ordinary people, well, yeah, they're ordinary people, and now they're doing extraordinary things. And they have extraordinary incomes right now. We have a girl, a young woman, in her early 20s studying for her PhD, was exposed to this program. We have another woman up there who is a guidance counselor, cleaning houses on the weekends and at night to make ends meet and pay her bills. All of those people up there are seven-figure income earners, and they did that within 2 to 5 years. Disclaimer, does not happen for everybody. That's super quick, okay? I show you this because it's possible, because they have the same tools that we have. They just talk to more people. That's it. They wanted to know who wants to change their life and get off that hamster wheel a lot quicker. Listen, if it takes you 5 years to generate residual, does everybody know what residual is? That's ongoing income that builds and builds and builds from something you created at one time, okay? If you wrote a song, and it's a popular song, you wrote it once, every time it plays, you get paid on that. That's what residual income is. That's where the top 4% of our world can put their feet up. They understand leveraging other people. J. Paul Getty said, he was the first billionaire in the United States. He said, I'd rather have 1% of 100 people's efforts than 100% of my own effort. That's how people create wealth. We were never taught in school how to create wealth. We were taught how to pay bills, how to balance a checkbook. I wasn't taught that well, how to balance a checkbook, but at that time. But you get it, what I understand. No one taught us how to create wealth and get to a different place of freedom. It's freedom, right? So if you have money, think of what you can do with more money. It's not about you. It's about impacting the world. Build schools, give back to hospitals, to parents of NICU babies, to shelters, to whatever your cause is, okay? But most people aren't even there yet. Most people can't even keep the lights on. They can barely pay the bills. So we have an accelerated program for those that want to leverage this company, a 3 to 5 year, we call it our exit strategy. Has anybody ever asked you what your exit strategy is? Have you ever asked someone, what's your exit strategy, right? Because otherwise you're in the grind until age 60. What is it, 62, 65 years old? And most people, 95% of the people, those that are still alive, have to keep working. At 65? Not okay. So Isagenix is number 22 on the Direct Selling Association list. The Direct Selling Association is an organization inside network marketing, the direct sales, that evaluates companies. They look, do they put in the bottle what's on the label? Are they transparent about how they do things? That's what the DSA does. There are tens of thousands of companies. In fact, every single year, there are over 1,000 new companies that come into existence. There's tens of thousands of these. Isagenix has made it to number 22. You want to be number 1. So every year they're getting closer and closer to number one. And here's the kicker. The average age of the top 24 companies, ready for this, is 40 years old. Isagenix is 15 years old and already number 22. Pretty impressive. Number 13 in North America. Isagenix has 600,000 active associates that make up the company, 600,000 plus. And get this, 83.5% of the company, they're just product users. They're just product users. That means we are their Whole Foods. They don't want the money, right? They just want to eat the cleanest, purest, most nutrient-dense food on the planet, and I can prove to you every which way why that's true. That's not myth. That's not an opinion. That's a fact. And we can say that now with what we know in the testing and the studies that we have. 11.5% take advantage of the financial opportunity in a slight way. They make anywhere between $500 and less per month. So they get some of their products paid for. They may make a car payment. They're not gung-ho, really leveraging this revenue stream and the opportunity. And that's okay. We love them too. Everybody gets to be where they want to be. No one works for anybody, right? We have partners. We link arms and we want to help people be successful, but no one reports to anybody. So you run this business like you want. It's just an opportunity to get somewhere different. And 5% of this business, like myself and like people on this call, treat this like a business. They treat it like a business and they get paid like a business. So when I tell you it's possible to make $100,000 in a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, it depends how quickly you want to move. That's residual. That builds and builds and builds. And yet some people, they may make $20,000 a year, and that's completely fine. It just depends on what you want, right? We have thousands of six-figure income earners. So let me show you why this is possible. Let me show you how we generate this type of money, if that's okay with you. This is called the accelerated compound effect, okay? It has to do with compression. So if you take a penny a day, okay, starting on day 2, some of you have heard this before. On day 2, double your penny. Excuse me, on day 1, double your penny. So we're going to start on day 1 with 2 pennies. So if you double that every day, so day 2, you have 4 pennies. Day 3, you have 8 pennies. Day 4, you have 16 pennies. By the end of the 10th day, because it all doubles, you have $10. That's pretty cool. And this is what happens at the end of the second 10 days, $10,000. Okay, everything is just doubling. $20 goes to 40, goes to 80, goes to 163. And here's what happens at the next 10 days. If you start with 2 pennies on day 1 and you double it every day, you get $10 million in 30 days. Now, some of you are saying, wait a second, is that true? Take out your calculator and do it right now. I did it over and over and over again because I couldn't conceive the fact that you can have 2 pennies, double that every single day, and you're going to again end up with $10 million. That's because of compressive accelerated growth. That's what we want our money to do in the money markets today. Does this happen? Not typically, but that's how this presence works. That's how this opportunity works. So let me get into it in a little bit, and I'll show you some more details here. For those of you that have never heard of network marketing, or you know network marketing, but you don't know how powerful it is, let me just compare it to some other industries that you do know. The NFL brings in $9 billion a year. Global music industry brings in $16 billion. The movie industry, $80 billion a year. Well, network marketing, direct sales brings in $178 billion per year. So they pay out about 40%. They pay out about $71 billion in commissions. That's back to the field because they don't do advertising. Or at least our company doesn't do advertising. It's all word of mouth. That's $200 million a day. $200 million a day to say thank you for referring someone to an opportunity that can change their health and certainly change their financial footprint. And that's what's happened to us in a huge way. And again, we weren't looking for this. So let me show you a little bit about how that money is generated, okay? Because I know you hear these concepts, but let me show you. You're sharing a gift with someone, quite simple. You're sharing a gift to people who have dreams, who want something better, who want to send their kids to private school or make a car payment or make a mortgage payment, whatever that is. And you're also sharing a gift with people who need something. Maybe they need better sleep. They need weight loss that's sustainable, that really makes them healthy. Okay, they have physical and health goals. That's really what it is. Okay, and so in doing that, what's happened is Isagenix has become a market disruptor. It's completely disrupted the way that we create income. Apple did it. the way we communicate, Amazon, the way we shop, Google, the way we get information. How about showing the average person how to generate residual income and how to leverage other people so they can get off their hamster wheel and they can attain their goals, whether it's a 3-year goal to retire from corporate America or a 5-year goal to get out of what they're doing or a 1-year goal to generate an extra $500 a month. It doesn't matter. It does not matter to whatever those goals are. And look at these numbers here. So some of you on here own businesses or own business, own them or have owned businesses. When you tell someone that we have a 60% customer retention rate, that is huge. Business owners would die for a 60% retention rate. Yet we have a 95% retention rate if you can show someone how to get their food paid for. Even if they don't want the business, that's great. But how about if we can get your products paid for? 95% retention rate when that happens. That's incredible. And that's what we do, right? So another thing that I want you to know, Isagenix gives back 50% of their cost back to the field for saying thank you. 50% of what they generate from products. 50% of product sales back to you and I for saying thank you. That's incredible. That's absolutely incredible. That's why we're able to generate a significant revenue. So what's possible? These numbers are possible, right? Does it happen for everybody? Disclaimer, no. No, there are people that they just want their products paid for. There are people that just want to make a couple $100s a month. And then there are people that want to make a few $1,000s a week, right? Or $10,000 a week or 20. Do we have people that do that? Absolutely we do. Do they work hard? You better betcha. This is not $1 million in 6 months. However, if someone told me, work my butt off for 10 years and I'm going to be financially free, why would I not do that? I would work my butt off for more than that. But now we have a program to be able to do that in less time if someone wants to take part in this. And these numbers, by the way, you can be full-time at 6 hours a week. It's what you do those 6 hours. We have a proven system, a systemized program that if you're coachable and you plug in, everybody gets the same opportunity. The 6-figure income earners, the 7-figure income earners, and people that are making $1,000 a week have the same rules apply to everybody, the same opportunity, okay? So let me show you what that looks like. If you get an account with us, basically you open up an account, it's $29, you get on the products, right? We want you to be the product of the product, experience the product. If you don't like the products, there is no business, right? So really, they really have integrity when it comes down to that. You like the products, it changes you. You say, wow, there's a financial opportunity here. I want to see if I can do this. We all have 2 teams. This is how simple this program is. We have a right team and our left team. The only decision we have to make when we enroll somebody and we expose them to the business is, am I going to put them on my right side? Am I going to put them on my left side? That's it. That's it. And so the power behind this is, here's you. Okay. This is Cindy in California. We're going to say Cindy is you. Cindy has a friend in California, Kim. She wants to lose weight. Kim's husband, Pete, just lost his job, or he needs another job, another stream of income. So Kim gets on it to lose weight. Pete gets into the program because he wants to generate, his goal is just a couple thousand a month. Okay. Pete's buddy, Tom, over in New Zealand, has a business. He's got a gym over there. He wants to get involved. He sees the signs. He sees that these products are something special. He brings it on board in New Zealand. Linda is Cynthia's friend in Ohio. Tom doesn't know Linda, but guess what? Tom is making 100% of the commission that Linda brings in. Okay? So watch this. I'll explain that to you. We're going to just pick apart this for a second so make it real easy. I just wanted to show you the lineup. When a new person enrolls, they go to the bottom of your left team or the bottom of your right team. And whether the people above them know them or not, wherever they are in the 14 countries that we're in, they make money from each other. J. Paul Getty said, remember, I'd rather have 1% of 100 people's effort rather than 100% of my own. This is where residual income, this is where wealth comes in. This is where Robert Kiyosaki talks about, Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, right? They understand leverage. So you bring in Kim. Kim opens an account and she gets on some products to lose weight. Every product, here's my Cytoactives, every product that Isagenix has points attached to it. So Kim gets on a program. Kim gets 100 points in her account, okay? Not only does Kim have 100 points, Cindy, because Cindy enrolled her, gets 100 points. And people above Cindy get 100 points, and you'll see that in a second. So Kim recommends Pete, her husband, who needs some extra income. Pete gets on the program. 100 points goes from his products into Pete's account, goes into Kim's account, goes into Cindy's account. Wow. You see what's happening here? Tom over in New Zealand says, I own a gym. I want to bring this on board. This is awesome. He orders products. He has 300 points that goes into his account. You get the picture? You see what's happening? Linda, indefinitely. I spoke to someone today for a while from a different company, and they're your typical MLM, multi-level marketing. There's inherent issues with that. There are some good companies that are trying to do it the right way, but overall, you have to be a superstar. You have to keep recruiting, or selling. And that's why there's a 3-month, window where people actually get out of the business because they're like, I can't do this. Not in this model. It's infinite. It's infinite deep. So this keeps going, 1,000 people, 2,000 people, as far as it can. And you keep receiving these points. So let me get even more conceptual with you. So watch this. So we just built up 800 points on my right leg, or Cindy's right leg. Fair enough? So let me show you what this looks like. Here's the right leg, and now here's the left leg, because the same thing is going on Cindy's left side. Remember, we have 2 teams. Everybody on her right side benefits from everybody else. When Kim brings someone in, it goes at the bottom. When Cindy brings someone in, she puts it under the right, goes at the bottom. So now, Cynthia has built up 1,200 points on her left team and 800 points on her right team. Well, you may say, well, what's the big deal with this? Watch this. When I say the word cycle to you, this is how we get paid. 1 cycle equals $54. So if you cycle twice in a day, that's $108, okay, in 1 day. If you cycle 5 times a day, that's 5 times 54, 10. You get the picture? Okay? So watch this. In order to cycle, Isagenix says you need to accumulate 900 points. It doesn't matter which side they come from, 3 on one side, 6 on the other, or vice versa. When you acquire 900 points, 6 on one side, 3 on the other, you cycle, okay? They take those points away and they give you $54, right? But what if there's leftover? Well, some companies take that away. That's where all the money goes up to the top. Not in this situation. They give you that leftover. Now I have 600 left over on my left. I have 500 left over on my right. Guess what Cynthia just did? She cycled twice. They reduced that out, and now she just cycled twice. This can happen in a week, can happen in 2 weeks, can happen in a day, or twice a day, or 3 times a day. So typically what happens is people start to cycle once in a week, once every 2 weeks, then once a day, 2 times a day, 4 times a week. You get the picture, because as your team grows, you cycle more and more and more, right? And you're not doing all the work. This is not just from your elbow grease alone. This is your team. This is leveraging your team. And the Isagenix, as long as you do your minimum, as long as you stay on the products and you purchase at least 100 points a month, it's nothing. It's nothing. For a business, an opportunity to generate 6 and 7 income in a relatively short period of time compared to your lifetime, it's crazy. It's crazy. You never lose those points. So this is what your team starts to look like. And it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, right? So you can be over in the UK and all of a sudden you have 30 people in the United States, and then you have 10 people over in Australia, and you have 4 people in Indonesia. Doesn't matter. You get 100%. So if that person ordered 300 points, guess what? 300 points goes all the way up the line as long as you're doing your minimum. You're staying on the products and you're active, right? They reward you for being a product of the product. Let me show you some of these cycle payouts here. If you look at 5 cycles a week, just a week, right? And by the way, there's a lot of upfront money. I'm not showing you that right now. I'm showing you the real residual aspect, the real reason why this changes lives, okay? 5 cycles a week is about $14,000 a year. 10 cycles a week, that yields between $28,000 and $53,000 a year, okay? 20 cycles a week, $56,000 to $109,000 a year. We have programs to accelerate this process. If someone has a financial pain and they need to make money very quickly, or they get it. Some people get right in. They're like, this is a no-brainer. And they go right to work and they become fast, people in this business. They run fast with this program and they make waves. and they're doing significant work in here, and they're changing lives. They're rewarded for it. So, disclaimer before we end, I just want to make sure everybody understands these products don't treat, they don't cure, they don't prevent any illness or disease. This is for training purposes only. This system gives us back the nutrients that Mother intended our food to have. Mother Nature gave us this nutrition hundreds of millions of years ago that we don't get today because of the damage we've done to this earth. It's allowing us to infuse our body with this nutrition so our bodies can heal naturally. This system doesn't heal you. Your body can heal itself, but not if it doesn't have that fuel. You can't run a rocket ship on 87 octane. It won't work. You need rocket fuel. That's what this company and this nutrition provide to the body. And these financial statements that I've made and these financial examples, they're just examples. You can come into this program, not do anything, and not make a penny. And that's completely up to you. Or you can jump into this program and leverage the system, leverage a proven system to make significant revenue in as quickly or as slowly as you want. That's really what it comes down to. So what's your next step? Listen, we want you to, left this slide up. We just did an opportunity meeting for the United Kingdom. We're actually in pre-launch right now in the UK. We're in 13 countries. We're in the UK. So I used this slide last time, but this applies to everybody. This applies to you. If you're looking at this right now, we want you to try the program, try the nutrition, put it in your body. If you want to learn how to get your products paid for, talk to your sponsor. They'll show you very quickly. If you want to really leverage this opportunity, then plug in, work deliberately. Say, listen, I can afford 3 hours a week, 4 hours a week, 6 hours a week. You can have a massive business 6 hours a week if you plug in and you're coachable. Okay? It's a proven scalable system. So I want to leave with this slide right here. Every time I look at this slide, it puts things into perspective very clearly for me. So if you put your money in the market, right, and you got a 5% return, put it in the bank, put it in a fund, 5%, no one gets 5% anymore, right? But just let's say you got a 5% return. In order to generate $1,000 a month residual, meaning every month $1,000, you need to have $240,000 in the bank somewhere. Who has an extra $240,000 lying around in the bank? Almost no one. It's unheard of. Okay, 4%, 5% of the population. Okay? That's 4 cycles a week in Isagenix right there. So if you can help someone cycle 4 times a week, they're making $1,000 a month. A month, that's a lot of money. In order to generate $3,000 a month, would that change your life? Heck yeah. I think $300 a month would change your life, let alone $3,000 a month. So in order to generate $3,000 a month residually, you need $720,000 in the bank. Okay? 13 cycles a week. If someone wants to run with us and learn how to do that very quickly, we have formulas and we have a program to do it. We can teach people how to do this. We're nothing special. We've just plugged into a system and it was taught to us on how to improve others' lives. If you can improve others' lives, you get rewarded for doing that. How amazing is that? We're only successful if our people are successful, right? That's a 1-star, 10 cycles. 1 star is considered 10 cycles in our company. So 10 cycles a week, a $3,000 dollars per month. That's crazy. Okay. So I'm going to stop right there and I'm going to unshare my screen. I'm going to stop the recording there. I hope you all enjoyed tonight, and I encourage you to get back with the person who sponsored you tonight, ask them questions, and ask them how to get started. This program is incredible on so many levels. They guarantee that you're happy. And so Isagenix says to you, if you try the system for 30 days and you don't like it, they refund you for those products. You really have nothing to lose and everything to gain. So thank you so much for being on here tonight. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you back here next week.